good evening, beautiful people. What we're going to do is try and recreate one of these. I turned this little tea light holder. You can see through it, and the bit you can see through is casting resin. Okay. I'll show you what it came from quickly. But we're going to try and redo one of these. I've got it all set up on the lathe. Yeah, it was this stuff. Obviously a bit of damage in the tree. Yeah, so what I did is I filled this bit with resin. Blanked off that end, of course. Filled it with resin. Mixed a load of colours into it. And I wasn't very suited with the colours. It turned out kind of like that, you see. And I thought, oh well, we'll see what we can do. So I cut a piece like that. Can you see it didn't turn out very nice? So I thought, we're not going to waste it. So I cut a piece like that, just slightly bigger. And lo and behold, it worked out absolutely wonderful because there's a little bit too much red in the resin mix, but there's a bit of red in the wood, in the bark. So it sort of complements itself. It works out great. So sometimes rather than giving up, just sort of do something with your mistakes. Anyway, that worked out great. But anyway, like I say, we're going to try and recreate that on the lathe. But I'll just show you one or two projects that I'm going to be getting on with. You'll have seen this, I think. This is the little racing car that I'm making for my grandson. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to paint flames up here. You see I've made a little shield. So that's going to be on the front, painted on with a number 4 because he's 4. And I've masked off under here because that's kind of, the flames are going to sort of wrap round from the front and go up it. Then with this, I'm actually thinking of making him a cool, what do you call it? Like a wind, a fairing, is it? Or whatever you call it. One of them. I want that quite cool. Then, what I'm going to do, either way, I might not do that tail fin, I think you call it. But I'm certainly going to make him a little number plate in the back, supported on this steel. Yes, there'll be a couple of bits of that, but I'll put it on quite a jaunty angle, if you can see. I'll sit it kind of like that. That makes sense. Yeah. And then I'm going to stamp his name in, but I'm not going to use that leather. I'm going to use this ironwood that I've got. You might be able to see where I've had a go at it there. But I've gone off with that letter A. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of wood along a straight line, and then I can put my stamps up to the piece of wood, and then I'll get them all dead level then, and work out the spacing as well. But once that's all set up and I'm confident before stamping, what I'll do is I'll pour boiling hot water over this wood so the stamps go in quite deep. And then we'll just cut a skinny slice off with the pull saw, but deep enough to take that, a couple of them, and then that'll support it on the back. So it's quite ambitious, but it's the first little actual toy I've made, if you will. And because it's for my grandson, he's my youngest grandchild. I like being in my workshop. So I did have half an idea. These are my stamps. I did have half an idea of warming up the stamps with my blowtorch and then branding it. Yeah. Well, I'm a bit of a silly sausage because that's how it ended up, because it's all soft aluminium. So, okay. So, another mistake, but never mind. Then I've been working out how to do the flames on the on the wee car. So give us a minute. Yeah, hello again. Yeah, so with a paintbrush, just on a bit of red on one side and a bit of yellow on the other. Yellow, bit of red. And then what I do is, this will be upside down flame to you. I'll turn it right away. Yeah, so I just put it on, red side, and then I just start to twist it a wee bit. You with me? It's not working out very well actually this time, but when you just go through it again, you start to get flames. I need to practice a little bit more, but I'm going to leave where the paint's quite deep, I'm going to leave that, and then it'll be quite textured. Let's have another go. I'll try and do one coming off there like a wee branch. Yeah, so looking like a tree. But yeah, like I say, I need a bit of practice. But yeah, kind of sort of getting there, innit? You can imagine, with a bit of practice, and we'll paint that all up the side of the wee race car. Okay, right. So that's my my aspirations on that. This is a really nice piece of driftwood my friend found and gave it me yonks ago. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it in half to make a pair of tea light holders. Yeah, I've got loads of these. So of course anyway, so I'll cut it in half and then I'll make a resin mix and put them in a resin mold so they're quite light. And then you'll save some of that and then there'll be resin in all these holes. But I think I'll make it quite colourful, you know. I don't know, we'll see. But either way, it should be cool in the gang, yeah. A pair of them would be lovely, won't they? So, yeah, so if you watch, you know, if you subscribe or something and put on a bell notification, you might see that happen. Anyway, right, so back to the job in hand. We're going to go on the lathe. I'll see you in a sec. Right, here we go. So what I've done is I've mounted it. So we're going to carve up this way, like this, you see. So I'm going to make the tenon. I'll flatten this back off first, and then start rounding it, coming up, and then I'll make the tenon, and then we can flip it over, you see. And hopefully we can try and make it something like, I've got my calipers ready to help. Yeah, if we try and make it a match, you know, best we can. I mean, we're right for height, because I don't take much height off it at all. So we should be all right. Anyway, wish me luck. We'll see how we get on it. Yeah. Nice sharp carbide tip. So we'll start with that. Yeah, so as you can see, just spent a bit of time shaping that up. Excuse me. I was going to try and copy this, but I think I can make this completely different and it'll still be really nice. try and make it like a square edged bowl, if I can. Just got to sort of get up here a bit, but we'll keep on keeping on, and we'll see how we get on. Alrighty. What I did before I started turning this, because there's a lot of resin in it, I cleaned the bed, and I got all the sawdust off the floor. I mean, I do that every day, but I've been bagging it for my composting toilet for when I'm living in the bus, in my tank. Anyway, here we go. Wish me luck. Let's have a wee look. Yeah, it's come on quite nice, that. Yeah, I think we're going to end up with a bit of a four-cornered bowl, like a little dish. Nice, isn't it? We'll see. Just got to get rid of that flat edge there, if you can see that. And that side's bigger. So it means that we've got a fair way to go yet. No, we'll see. Oh, we'll see how we get on. But I think I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to make it into just like more of a dish rather than that where it, where it goes in the middle. I think we'll just do it sort of more. We'll follow that angle. Are you with me? We'll follow that angle, and we'll do the same on the inside. So that might be nice. I'm not very good at pairing up things anyway. So we'll see. We're just having fun, aren't we? Okie dokie. Right. Well, I'll do a bit and then I'll pause you and then I'll do a bit and then we'll have a look again in a couple of minutes. Hello. So I've made my mortise in this end, and you can see we're nearly there. Yeah, we're nearly there. There's just a little flat spot there that we're going to get rid of right now, and then we should be able to flip it round. And start hollowing out and see how we get on. But yeah, it's going to be completely different to this one in shape. But because I'm going to do it bigger, I think it means we're going to maintain a little bit more of the resin. But we'll see. I don't know. All right, here we go. Wish me luck. beauty. Nice, eh? But the thing is, I've got an option, you see. If I go a bit deeper here, on that line, that's the resin poking through. So I think I'm going to. Because you can see with this one, you can see that, you know, the wood is no longer attached to the wood because the resin's in its place. And that's what's going on here, on this wee line. So I think we'll take it in a bit more. Hey, what do you reckon? Yeah. Yeah, we will. Because we want it to look fancy. Okay. Well, I'll pause you then. I'll do that. I'll bring you back. Hello. So I've just took a bit more off. That line's a bit skinny. That one's quite a bit fatter. So the light from the tea light should shine through that. So maybe you'd have that at the front, perhaps. And it's got a lovely, interesting feature right there. You see, that's ever so nice. But I'm not actually sure if I want to go a little bit further with it. You know, there's a little bit of a shoulder here. You might be able to see. So I think if I take that down, that might just expose a little bit more of the resin. Right, yeah, that's what we'll do. And I'll leave the film rolling. Right, I've certainly gone for it there. Oh, nice. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely, yeah. What do you reckon? Nice shape. Can you see the shape? Yeah, it's quite fancy, yeah. That's a bit jaggy. I think I'll just soften that over and maybe leave it like that and make it into like a rimmed bowl on top, perhaps. Do you reckon? Right, I'll just soften that shoulder down a bit. I'm going to keep that, and I might even try and mirror that curvature there. There, you see, yeah, that curvature there. I'm just going to try and maybe mimic it there, shall I? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, the weather changes less often than my mind on these things. So, but we'll see how we get on. There we go. It's quite a nice shape. I'm quite happy with that, actually. It's just got a wee bump in the middle there, which gives it a little bit of character. Bit of a fat belly like me. Yeah, so what I'll do now is, without boring you, I'll just give it a light sanding, and then I'll be, make sure I'm happy with the shape. And then we'll flip it round, and we'll start hollowing out. And I'll probably reposition you so you can see that process a bit clearer. Alrighty, so I'll see you in a sec. Rightio, so I've got it flipped round. And I did say I was going to put you on a better angle. Excuse me. Right, here we go. Wish me luck. resin, don't have to make a mess. When I do those bigger projects, I'll be doing them outside. Obviously on a dry day. Ooh, it's alright, eh? So all I need to do is get this flush with this. But I'm going to try and get like a nice sort of rounded rim. So we'll see. Right, we'll keep on keeping on. Right, I'll pause you and then I'll do some hollowing out and then we'll get back to you. See, it's coming on, eh? I'm bringing it a bit closer. Flip around. You've got to keep tightening this down, because as I'm sort of turning this little tower, yeah, it's squashing down. You can see it's even heating up. But yeah, it's cool, eh? Look, you can see through it already. It's got some nice sort of black swirls in it. Lovely, eh? Like I say, it's a different shape to this one. But they still complement each other. Alrighty. Okay, so I'll carry on with that and then we'll come back to it in a sec. Rightio. What I've done is I've removed the tailstock and I've put my tool rest across here and we'll start hollowing this out, leveling it off and sanding it up. Excuse me. I've got some proper polishing pastes coming tomorrow for various things, and one specifically for resin. So that's what we'll do. We'll put them all, they can all go back on the lathe and all get polished up lovely, because this resin ends up a little bit cloudy until it's been polished, and we want it to look like glass, don't we? Alrighty, so here we go. I'm just going to hollow this out and just try and get rid of some of these tool marks inside. And then that's about it. That's about as far as we can go with it. We'll stick a bit of wood butter on it just to moisturise it while it's sitting for a day or two. Yeah, okay. Wish me luck. Here we go. Just want to check on how thick the walls are and how much deeper I can go. I can go quite a bit, I think. Oh, a wee bit. Okay. Yeah. A bit deeper. That's lovely. I think there's a bit of a rise in the middle, so I'll take that down and just go slightly deeper again, because I want to accommodate one of these. It's just sitting just slightly above, and rather it's at level, if you know what I mean. So yeah, just got enough to play with there. So we'll just take that down a wee bit more. I think that's us. I think that should be it. Just get this. Just see. Oh, that sits just lovely. You can't see it on that angle, but that sits just nice and flush with the top thereabouts, and I don't think I can go any further anyway. So yeah, what do you think? That's quite lovely. I'll bring you around. I'll flip just a sec. There we go. What do you think of that? Didn't take long, did it? Quite a nice angle. See all the cloudy bits?
It's really nice, this one, because the resin goes all the way through, sort of like, you know, three ways. If it had gone a bit deeper there, we may have, yeah, there's only a skinny bit of resin there, so no. But anyway, worked out lovely. Right, I know, pause it, take it off. Hello again. So while it was still on the lathe, I just give it a light sanding. Just 120 grit and 240. I've got much finer sandpaper coming tomorrow, along with some other bits and bobs for polishing these things and getting them into a really nice finish. So what we'll do, because it's the end of the video now, is we'll just give it a wipe and we'll stick some of that wood butter on it, and then we'll stick a wee tea light in it, see how it looks, eh? Right, let me just get my bits and bobs ready. In fact, it's here. Huh? This is really nice stuff. I'm very pleased with it. I actually use this stuff as well, this wood butter, for greasing up the pots for the resin, for my resin molds, and it works great because I've used the same mold 3 times now without breaking it. So yeah, it's good. Are you ready? Let's see. Oh, lovely. You think of that? And do the outside. Well, you saw it first, from start to finish. Hopefully it wasn't too long a video. Well, it's 33 minutes and 3 seconds now. Anyway, there you go. A wee ball. Very nice, little tea light holder as a wee gift. Right, talking of which, let's stick one in. What do you think of that? Thanks for watching. God bless each and every one of you.